Let's talk about one of the smartest ways that you can keep your data safe. The 3-2-1 backup rule. Do you ever wonder why IT pros swear by it, or how this simple formula can save your business from a data disaster? It's a lot easier than you think, and mastering it now could save you from costly downtime later. Stick around and I'll show you exactly how to protect your files using the 3-2-1 rule before it's too late. Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Kinnett. I'm CEO and founder of Eternal Networks. And here at Eternal Networks, we believe in empowering people with the knowledge that they need to succeed. So every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, I go live on all of our socials to discuss different topics around technology and cybersecurity and AI to help empower others. These live streams really are aimed to help others to be more confident in their knowledge about business technology and cybersecurity. At Eternal Networks, we're dedicated to creating safe and secure environments for businesses and people to do what they love. And helping others to stay up to date and educated on technology is a big part of our mission. At the end of the live stream, I'll make sure to leave time to answer questions. So if you've got them, throw them in the comments at any point in time, and I'll cover them at the end. All right, first things first. What exactly is the 3-2-1 backup rule? At its core, it's a simple strategy to make sure that your data is always safe, no matter what happens. Here's the formula. You keep 3 copies of your data. That's the 3. That means the original data on your primary device. That could be your computer, your server, whatever you're using to store that data on every day. And at least 2 additional copies. So that's the 3, right? So your original location and 2 other locations of your data. Next, you store those copies on 2 different types of storage devices. This could be an external hard drive and a cloud service, or maybe a NAS, a network attached storage device, and a USB flash drive. The key is variety. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. And finally, one of those backup copies needs to be offsite. That means it's somewhere other than your office or home or wherever your primary data is residing. Think about how devastating a fire, flood, or theft would be if all of your backups were sitting there right next to your main computer, all of them gone, all at the same time. Keeping one copy off-site ensures that even if something catastrophic happens locally, your data is still safe and recoverable. All right, so how many copies should you keep? Well, let's dig into that a little bit more. How many copies are enough? The rule says 3. Is that really enough? Well, we believe that that's the sweet spot for most small and mid-sized businesses. Having only one backup, especially one stored in the same location as your main system, really is a recipe for disaster. If your building experiences a fire, flood, or even a major power surge from a lightning strike or something, that single backup won't do you much good because it could be fried along with your primary data. With 2 backups, especially if one is offsite, you're creating a safety net. Even if one fails or gets lost, you've got another ready to restore your data, keep your operations running. So let's talk a little bit now about where those backups should be. There's plenty of options: external hard drives, network attached storage devices or NASs, cloud storage, or combinations of these. External hard drives are affordable and easy to manage, but they can fail. They're electronics. They have moving parts, and over time they can just give out. So it's important to monitor and track that if you're using that. Cloud storage is convenient and often includes built-in redundancy, meaning that your files are stored across multiple servers in multiple locations. What about cloud services that are free versus dedicated ones that have a fee? Free services can be tempting, but they usually come with limitations, like storage caps or weaker security measures. Dedicated services offer more control, better encryption, and more reliable recovery options. For most SMBs, a hybrid approach seems to work the best. One backup on a physical device that you control in your environment. That could be at your primary location, the same location, right? And another that's in the cloud for that critical offsite protection. All right, here's another big question about backups. How often should you back up, right? You've got your storage, you know where you're backing up to, but how often should you be backing up the data? And I'm trying not to get too technical on this, but ultimately it comes down to the question on how much productivity and data can you afford to lose? In backup terminology, we call this the recovery point objective, or RPO. The RPO is the interval of time that might pass during a disruption before the quantity of data lost exceeds the allowable tolerance for the business. That's kind of a big technical term for it here. Let me give you an example. If we look at a law firm as the example, how many documents change over the course of 1 hour? And what is the cost to recreate that data? Let's say there's 10 lawyers at this law firm, and they each bill at $350 an hour. That means it would cost $3,500 if they have to recreate an hour's worth of data without being able to bill for that time. So whatever this law firm determines their limit, right? What are they willing to basically eat in time and cost to recover data manually? And that's their RPO. And they might say it's an hour. They might say it's 15 minutes. They might say it's a day. Each business is a little bit different in what they feel is reasonable. The shorter the RPO, the more expensive the backup can be, right? So you got to take all that into consideration when you're considering the risks and the costs associated with that. But whatever time they determine their RPO is, the backup needs to be aligned with that threshold. Let's say that this law firm determines that their RPO is 2 hours, meaning they don't want to lose more than 2 hours worth of data. Well, then you better make sure that you're backing up your data more frequently than every 2 hours. So that if something happens, let's say you back up at noon and your next backup is at 4, that's 4 hours. If something happens at 3 p.m., well, you've lost 3 hours worth of productivity if you have to roll back to noon. So you have to make sure you're backing it up more frequently than every 2 hours so that you can roll back to a point in time and minimize the lost data and time. For most small and mid-sized businesses, a daily backup, I would say, is the minimum. Different backup technologies handle this in different ways. Some will do a full backup, maybe weekly, and then do daily incremental or differential backups of the changes. For our clients that we manage, we do hourly backups for most of them. Some of them we do as frequently as every 15 minutes. And for some, it's just once a day. So it just depends on what your risk tolerance is for your business. And that all has to be taken into consideration. All right, now let's talk about retention or how long you should actually be keeping those backups. I would say for most small and mid-sized businesses, a 2 to 3 month retention period is a solid standard. That could be a starting point. That means that you could restore a clean copy of your system or your data if something goes wrong without so many backups that become a storage nightmare. For our clients that we manage, just as an example, we keep a local copy up to 3 months, and we keep a cloud copy for up to a year. That's our standard. So that if something, maybe 6 months down the road, you find out that an employee was deleting files or manipulating data or something, maybe got malware, you didn't realize it, and it corrupted some files. And you don't find those files for 6 months later. If you're only keeping 2 or 3 months, well, you're just going to have to recreate that data. But if you have an offsite that goes back farther, you can go back farther in time to recover it. Too short, and you might discover a problem. Like I said, like malware, corrupted files, after your only clean copy is already gone. But if you wait too long, you're wasting space and possibly money on storage that you're not going to use. All right, so why go through all of this effort? Well, really because the 3-2-1 backup strategy eliminates single points of failure. If your only backup is on the same device or in the same building as your original data, you're one incident away from a major disaster. On-site backups are great for speed. They let you recover data quickly and keep your business moving. But off-site backups are your insurance policy against local disasters, natural disasters, cyber attacks, or anything that takes down your local systems. In today's world, downtime is expensive. Every hour you can't access your data means lost productivity, frustrated clients, and potentially lost revenue. Now, is the 3-2-1 rule the best and only way to protect your data? There's other options, but for most small and mid-sized businesses, it's the bare minimum. As cyber threats evolve and businesses grow more reliant on their data, some organizations may choose even more robust strategies, like additional offsite copies or immutable backups that can't be tampered with, or additional redundancy options. The point is, you should always start with the 3-2-1 rule as your foundation. From there, you can build a strategy that fits your business's size, budget, and risk tolerance levels. The 3-2-1 backup rule isn't complicated. It's a straightforward way to make sure that your business never has to say, we lost everything. 3 copies, 2 types of storage, 1 offsite. That's it. I've been helping businesses protect their data and build smarter backup strategies for over 15 years. And I can tell you that this one simple rule is often the difference between a minor setback and a major disaster. If you're ready to strengthen your backup plan, or just want to know if your current setup is truly safe, I'd love to have a chat with you and talk about the process. The link to connect with me is going to be in the chat and in the video description below. All right, let's see if there's any questions from our audience before I wrap up. I don't see anything for today. So thanks for joining today, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching after the fact. We really appreciate it. If you found this information helpful, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment with any questions or thoughts you might have. Your feedback is really appreciated, and it helps us to create more content that's valuable to you. Don't forget, you can also subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so that you get notification updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to help you navigate the world of tech and cybersecurity. If you need any further assistance, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to me via DM, contact our office, or email us. Visit our website at itnet.works. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week.